Hi everyone, this is my run on Edward's Chaos Challenge, Love the Melody of Courage. And before we head into the actual battle, I'll just give a quick overview of this fight and the party composition. So this Chaos Challenge consists of two waves. The first is pretty unremarkable, it's just a standard Ochu and its minions. And because the Ochu will always resummon the minions, it's better to just try to focus all your damage on the Ochu. The minions have pitifully low HP, and so any splash damage will likely kill them off pretty quickly anyways. The main unique mechanic for this Chaos Challenge comes on the second wave, which is a new enemy called the Rock Raptor. The Rock Raptor is an Alvarid monster type, so it has the Storm Breath attack which all Alvarids monster types have, and that's sort of like a standard group magic Brave and HP attack, but it also has a gravity based effect which reduces your party's Brave to half. The notable thing about this fight is that the boss has a unique attack called the Avatar Needle, and if you see the boss using this attack or its plus variant, it means that on its next turn it will get 2 consecutive turns. And normally, under normal circumstances, this can be quite deadly because if you can imagine, it will then use its first consecutive turn to deal significant amounts of brave damage, and then immediately follow this up with an HP attack or group HP attack, which can kill off one or more party members. Luckily, the synergy units in this fight has ways to circumvent this chaos mechanic. So I'll just be quickly going through each of them. So chief of which of course is Edward. Edward helps a lot because of mainly of his LD, which can inflict 5 turns of sleep debuff. So one easy way to get around this is that if you see the boss using Avatar Needle, just have Edward use his LD and inflict 5 turns of sleep, during which the boss's consecutive turns will then be locked down into doing nothing. If you see the boss targeting Edward also, Edward can just use hide to give himself 100% evasion and prevent the attack from the boss. Ardyn needs no introduction. By now almost everyone have experience with Ardyn. Ardyn gets around this mainly by his overkill buff, which makes himself immortal, and therefore doesn't matter whether the boss can actually dump HP attack on him. He cannot die as long as he is buffed with overkill. Hope and Kimari helps to mitigate this mainly through brave damage reduction. So Hope can buff the entire party with Protect and Shell, which halves all incoming brave damage. So even if the boss gets 2 consecutive turns, the brave damage that it does on its first turn is likely going to be significantly reduced by Hope, and therefore even if it follows this up with an HP attack, it likely will not do enough damage to kill off any of your party members. Kimari functions in a similar way, in the sense that Kimari can significantly buff the party's defenses. In fact, if you pair Kimari with Hope, their defense and brave damage reduction stacks to the extent that the boss will deal pitifully low amounts of brave damage. And Kimari can also help by inflicting total blindness through his EX. So even if you see the boss about to take 2 consecutive turns, if they are inflicted by total blindness, the first of the 2 turns will be wasted, and so the boss only gets 1 meaningful turn in. Any combination of the 4 synergy characters will do for this fight. Of course, Ardyn being a top tier DPS helps to significantly reduce the turn count, but the turn count is 100 turns, and that is very generous for this fight. So even without using Ardyn, you can very easily breeze through this Chaos Challenge. I used a party of Edward, Ardyn, and Hope, mainly because I skipped Kimari's banner and I don't have his EX or LD. All my characters are 9/9 summon boarded. Edward and Ardyn are fully MLB'd. Hope, as you can see, is at 1 out of 3 EX realization, and therefore Hope only has 2 character bots while the others have 3 character bots. I do not have Ardyn's burst weapon. I did not get it through any of the banners, and I don't want to spend more resources chasing down his burst, so I decided to just make do without Ardyn's burst. For summon, I use Leviathan, one for its speed down, and also secondly it grants Ardyn a passive Brave Regen effect once Ardyn uses his LD, which helps out nicely. Coupled together with the battery from Edward and Hope, Ardyn will frequently cap his Brave even through normal HP attack. So, long story short, in summary, you just have to prepare for the Avatar Needle attack, and if you see the boss using it, you just need to try to mitigate 2 consecutive turns on the boss's next turn. That's it. With that said, let's move into the battle, and I'll see you there. Okay, so starting on the first wave, as I say, it's pretty unremarkable. I did make a mistake here using Edward's Bard song, mainly because it broke the entire enemy party and I couldn't break anything with Ardyn's Warp Strike. I think it's better to just have Edward use Hide on his first turn so that Ardyn can then start breaking enemies through with Warp Strike. So I had no choice but to use Ardyns AA here and use Warp Strike, because I really wanted to max out Ardyn's Spectral Charge to 5 stacks at the start of the battle. So since my Hope is only 1 out of 3 realization, he doesn't start the fight with any of his buffs. So you then use Hope to use Shell, followed by his HP attack, and then Protect and HP attack to bring him quickly to full Protect and Shell buffs for the entire party. Edward's EX is ready here, but since the Ochu is almost dead, I decided to save his EX for the second wave because his EX can actually inflict a very potent frame debuff on the enemy, and that debuff actually has stacks. So saving one for the beginning of wave 2 immediately inflicts one stack of his frame debuff on the bosses there. Okay, so starting on the second wave, the boss's first attack is pretty harmless. They always start the fight using their first turn doing a brave attack. So you can go all out initially because your party has very potent AoE brave shaving. Doesn't matter how much brave the boss gains initially anyway. So just go all out and dump your attacks on the boss to start off. From the second turn onwards, the Rock Raptor can very infrequently use party-wide all attacks, and this can either be a party-wide Brave attack or a party-wide AoE Brave and HP attack through its Storm Breath ability. So Edward can help to really mitigate this by just putting himself into the hide status. The good thing about pairing Edward and Hope together is that while Edward is hidden, although his attack auras to the party is significantly lower in the hidden or in the hide status, Hope will help to at least complement this because Hope also provides attack up aura to the party. So it doesn't make too much difference whether Edward hides or isn't. At least while hidden, he gets the 100% evasion and helps to mitigate brave gain from the boss when they are targeting all. So the way to really make full use of Edward's hide and return ability is that if you see the bosses targeting all, you can use hide to reduce the boss's brave gain. And likewise, of course, if you see the bosses targeting Edward, if you use Edward to hide, then it's essentially one turn wasted on the boss. And once the boss is targeting another party member, that's when you can use Edward's return to bring him out of hide status and putting him back on the full party support auras. The other thing about using hide and return is that hide is an instant turn, and although it functions similar to an AA because of its instant turn ability, it still recharges his EX like a normal skill would charge someone's EX, and Edward's EX is also at a fast charging rate. So this means that if you spam hide and return, Edward's EX charges very quickly for you to spam his EX. Also, because of Ardyn's sheer damage, the bosses are quickly taking a lot of damage, and they still haven't used their Avatar Needle yet. And at this point, because I still haven't used Edward's Lullaby LD, there's no point saving all 3 charges of it for near the end of the fight. So therefore I decided to use his Lullaby when I see the boss about to get a whole bunch of turns. So this is a very good spot to use Lullaby. No party member acts after Edward here, and if you look at the turn count, there's 2 turns of B and 1 turn of A. So using Lullaby here will ensure that the 2 turns from the Rock Raptor B is prevented, and likewise 1 turn from Rock Raptor A is prevented. Your party members attacking monsters inflicted with sleep will reduce sleep turn count by 1. So therefore, it's best to inflict sleep when there are no party members acting after Edward, or in other words, there are no party members turn in between Edward and the boss's turn. Other than that, because Edward's Lullaby provides very excellent crowd control, the most turn efficient way to complete the fight is to try to kill off both bosses together, because that way you make full use of the splash and AoE HP damage that your party has. So at this rate, the boss 2 hasn't used Avatar Needle yet, and they are already in the raid. So I didn't want my summon to go to waste, so I decided to pop my summon here before I used Ardyns EX. So after the summon animation has ended, the bosses are extremely low health, and I could actually finish them off before they get to use Avatar Needle at all. That's it. As always, if you enjoy the video, do leave a like, subscribe, or please feel free to leave your comment. Till then, I'll see you in the next chaos fight. Bye bye.